Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PwC's Risk and Regulation news channel, and welcome back to our new special deep dive session on the EBA stress test 2025. After our first videos where we gave a first overview about the general methodology of the stress test, where we had a deep dive on credit risk and also a deep dive on how to calculate stressed RWA in the new stress test, today we will focus on a completely new topic. We will focus on market risk and we will focus on NII. And like always, I have two experts with me from the PwC network. The first one is Philipp from the German office. Hi, Philipp.
Hi, Martin. Thanks for having me. Let me quickly introduce myself. So my name is Philipp Schröder. I'm a partner here with PwC in Germany, where I co-lead our trading and treasury team, with whom I have been supporting clients for many, many years now in the areas of NII and market risk in the EBA and ECB stress tests.
Wonderful. Great to have you here. And the second expert we have today with us, I'm very happy to have him here on board again in one of my videos. It's Pablo.Suarez from the Madrid office. Hi, Pablo. How are you?
Hi, Martin. Hi, Philip. How are you? I'm very happy to be here at the PwC Risk and Regulation channel. And I send you greetings from Madrid with a bit of warmth these days. And I'm director here at Madrid office, and I'm responsible for market risk and LM practice. And regarding this topic, it will be my fourth stress test exercise this year, the 2025. Okay, so I have more than 10 years of experience in regarding these topics.
Yeah, great. Fourth stress test already. Then you have one big advantage compared to some of our viewers. But maybe to support our viewers who are not so familiar with the EBA stress test, especially on the market risk side, maybe you can give a quick overview about the general methodology on how to calculate the stressed market risk.
Yeah, for sure. The market risk section have four different parts. Okay, the first one is the market risk itself. That is the full revaluation of the financial instruments that the banks have in their balance sheet. The second one is the counterparty credit risk. The third one is the CVA risk. And the fourth one is the market risk reserves. That is something related with the additional value adjustments on CRR, if we are talking about CRR. Okay.
Thank you very much, Pablo. Looking back to the previous videos that we recorded on the EBA stress test, there were some very big changes on the calculation of RWA and some minor changes on credit risk. Still important, but not so big as for RWA. How is it with market risk? What are the most important changes on the methodology for market risk?
Yeah. The methodological foundations regarding market risk, counterparty credit risk, and CVA risk are maintaining for the next stress test. Okay. However, I would like to highlight two significant aspects that must be taken into account. The first one, the most important one, is related to the application of the CRR3. Okay, specifically. For IMA banks, the internal model approach banks, this could be a milestone at similar level to credit risk, okay? Because IMA banks must to compute the output floor based on the FRTB alternative standardized approach, namely the sensitivity-based approach, and also we believe that this consistent with the proposed approach for the COREP reporting in 2025. Okay. And also regarding the CRR3 application, the CVA risk needs to be computed following the CRR3 methodologies, because the CVA framework has not been postponed. That, as you know, FRTB market risk has been postponed by the European Commission. Okay, and the second big or significant change is they introduce a new category, the advanced comprehensive approach. That is a significant development. These entities that will be classified into this category needs to report additional disclosure in optionality risk template. It is a new template, okay, and also needs to report additional sensitivity in the full regulation templates, including delta, gamma, and vega, and also two minor changes. The first one is the introduction of the funding valuation reserve, okay, that is added to the system modeling and liquidity reserve. And the last one is the update related to the counterparty credit risk. In this next exercise, 3 counterparties will be default instead of 2 in the past. In the past, was the figure that it was used in the past was 2. For the 2025, it will be 3.
Great, thank you very much, Pablo. So it's more an evolution than a revolution on market risk, but still some very important developments, and I'm sure banks have to prepare very well for being able to calculate the stressed market risk. You, as an advisor with so much experience on the previous stress test, what is your advice to our clients how they should prepare for the next stress test?
I think that all the analysis have to be carried out earlier than the previous one, because there is some big impact on the CRR3. I told you previously the IMA banks, but also for the CVA risk. So there is a lot of data that has to be completed. Also, the computation with additional disclosure of sensitivities, it's required. So you have to improve your computation capacity, okay? And also the perimeter, it's always a big issue in this kind of exercise. So analyze very well the balance sheet and the perimeter that it's affected, or it had been affected by the market risk section. Okay, so I think that this is the main topics that the banks should address right now.
Great, Pablo. Thank you very much for these very valuable insights. Yeah, the second topic that we would like to cover today is NII, the net interest income. I still remember in the first stress test performed by the EBA, or better, in that times it was still the SEPs. Some of you still remember. NII was not the most important part of the overall stress test. It had to be done, but the focus was more on stress, on credit risk and on market risk. But now in the recent stress test, it became more and more important. And now I would say it's even one of the most important topics in the EBA stress test. So the question in your direction, Philipp, can you give us also a quick overview about the general methodology for the NII calculation in the stress test?
Yes, Martin, sure. Funnily, you were mentioning evolution versus revolution, and I think in the NII part, we really see a revolution in terms of a very fundamental change in the approach for the 2025 exercise. So how did it work in the past? So in the past, basically, banks were responsible for more or less all the parts in the NII. So preparing the position for the cutoff date, but also preparing the projections over the next 3 years. What will change with 2025 is basically banks are still responsible for preparing their current position, but this will then be sent to the ECB, and the ECB will do the projections based on central methodology that has already been published, that has been sent to the banks in terms of software, which they can now test and try out how it actually works. So this is really a fundamental change from a bottom-up to a more top-down approach. Interestingly, that has been discussed overall for the stress test 2 years back, but for the 2023 exercise did not happen. Now we see it happening, at least in the NII, and my personal opinion is it will also act a little bit as kind of a test balloon for ECB to see how do banks react to this top-down approach, how does it work, is there criticism whatsoever. But that obviously means banks also need to approach the NII part completely differently this year.
Yeah, wow, that's really a very, very significant change, and as you said, it's a revolution. And I think it's very hard for the banks to give away the control over the calculations on NII when it's so important, and let the ECB make the calculations. So especially because of that, how should the banks prepare for it?
Yes, I think what is really crucial, and it goes in the direction of what Pablo has also said. It's really important that you start the preparation as early as possible, get customized to the new methodology, and first of all, understand what does it mean for you. So in general, banks have spent lots of time and effort over the last couple of stress tests to optimize their position, to optimize their predictions, and had been quite successful in actually coming up with good, reliable NII numbers. However, all disadvantage will basically now go away. We will switch to a standardized methodology that will also make banks more comparable. But obviously, it could also impact some banks quite significantly since it's a standardized methodology. Additionally, data quality will become even more important.
Absolutely.
If you remember the last couple of exercises, there was always the possibility also in the FDCs to correct mistakes that has been done that only pop up once you do the projections, once you calculate the numbers. The way I understand the process now, that will not be possible anymore. So really getting the data prepared from the start, getting it optimized from the start, that is really, really important. So that is something that should be done right now. For example, we at PwC, we are currently analyzing the code that has been provided together with a couple of our clients, and really try to understand where can you fine tune, where are the pitfalls, and what to make sure, which I think is also important in terms of senior management communication, because it is an integral part of the stress test. It has become more important, especially now that interest rates are back. So it's really something to attack early on and get prepared.
Yeah, it's incredible. I still remember from the previous stress test, data quality on NII was always a huge challenge. And very often you had to perform the calculation itself for understanding and realizing that there was a problem in the input data. And then you were able to correct it, and then you had the possibility for new calculations. That is gone now. So what you mentioned on the analysis of the tool, understanding the tool and preparing the data in the right way, I think that is extremely crucial. Thank you very much, Philipp. Great insights from you as well. Muchas gracias, Pablo, also from my side. And I hope you enjoyed the session, and dear viewers, I hope you join us in the next video as well. Bye-bye.
Dankeschön.
Bye.